Well, that is a lovely sight, isn't it? A handful of silver bars. Very nice indeed. In fact, bars that I made myself. The backyard bullion pouring for 2026 has started. It is a busy year ahead of us with our 10-year anniversary, plus so much more going on in the world of silver. But that is not stopping us from kicking into gear and making some of our products. In today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about what's in store for 2026, what you might be interested in finding out about our business and how we work, and also seeing some molten silver come flowing into our graphite molds. It's an exciting video ahead, so join me. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a very warm welcome to you all joining me for another precious metal ramble. It's what I'm known best for, so that is what we shall do today from the silver pouring bench, where you can see I am in production now of our 2026 bars. I've had a lot of questions asked of late, a lot of emails saying, when will you see bits of Backyard Bullion poured silver up for sale? I'm afraid the long-winded answer will kind of follow in this video, but the short-winded answer is not anytime soon, I'm afraid, for a few reasons. And we're going to delve into that, the complexities, some of the issues, indeed, that I am facing as a poured silver business in 2026. Some of that relates to silver price being where it is and the craziness of it, but some of it also just relates to how we have been working over the last few years anyway as a business. So a few updates from a business perspective, but also a little bit of a hindsight retrospective, because this year marks our 10-year anniversary of not just YouTube, but pouring silver. In fact, these bars will shortly be stamped up with our new 10-year commemorative mark that we're going to be putting on all of our products. I can't believe it's been 10 years. Absolutely crazy. And not only 10 years, but I'm hoping that this year, 2026, will mark the year that I hit 100,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, here's my little please subscribe plug for myself. Please subscribe and join me on the journey, because that's just incredible. And I sometimes am quite shy of bigging myself up and like pumping my own chest about these things, but 100,000 subs, it's a huge thing, and I really want that play button. I remember when I got started, it was a long time ago, and I was like, this is just a hobby. I'm not even thinking about that. I never, in the first year and a half, I never really thought about that kind of thing. It was only when, after about a year and a half in, that I had a video that went pretty viral, and I was like, ooh, that's cool, and that's brought me a lot of new subscribers. And then we got like 1,000 subs and a 5,000 subs milestone. I remember 10,000 subs. I even remember 100,000 milestone. That's pretty cool. So we'll be looking back in this year at that 10 years of YouTubing, and hopefully get that play button. The official anniversary date is July, and I hope to be at that 100k subs by then. We're on target, but all the extra subs we can get would help. So let's talk a little bit about 2026 silver pouring. We are going to do some silver pouring as well today. The furnace is going. It's on its last leg, so I hope it's going to survive long enough for this video, but it is going, and we're going to pour some silver into here. So first up, poured silver. That's what I have been doing for 10 years, and I will be continuing to do it. That's the first news to say. 2026 is a very cool year because it's our 10th year anniversary of doing products for the Silver Forum. You may well have heard of them. If you haven't, then where have you been living under a rock? Because it's the best forum on the planet. And our 10-year anniversary bars, we've got special stamps made up to put on those as little commemorative marks. In addition, there are quite a few people who've been buying these bars all throughout the entire 10 years. And we're going to be doing a special thank you present for everybody who's got 10 consecutive years. They don't have to be all the same serial number. So if you've been hiding away and doing that, then you need to get in touch and let me know to qualify for a free gift as a thank you, because that's pretty cool to have 10 years of those. Now, in terms of scheduling for our annual products, for those that don't know, we do annual products throughout the year, and those will be coming out in May and June. So our 1 ounce bars, that's the first product that always goes. We're in production cycle right now. It takes a while to produce them. We are releasing those in May and June. So if you want to have some of those products, that's the time of year to keep an eye out. In terms of other products throughout the year, we also do 100-gram versions of the bars that you're going to see today, and we also do the round versions. Now, we do have some of the round versions left available, and that's not for lack of demand. I could have them all sold. I could have had them all sold last month, quite frankly, but In the United Kingdom, we have restrictions on how much you can sell before you are before you are, at His Majesty's pleasure, invited to register for sales tax, VAT. And that is a big thing for a small business. It's huge administrative burden. Of course, there's an additional cost involved in terms of making your products more expensive. So there are a lot of considerations for me. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. It is not something that I enjoy. The admin of it, the stress of it, in fact, just the compliance element of it is a right old headache as well. So for me, I have always operated under it. And that means that we just have to be restrictive with how much we sell and when we sell it. So for now, there isn't anything for sale. And just to quell some of the silly conspiracy theorists out there, that is not because I am hoping that silver's going to £100 an ounce and I can cash in even more on that. For anyone who knows how business works, when you are a manufacturer of products, when you sell products, you restock. And that's what I do. So every time I sell something, I have to base that stock price or the restocking price of what it is when I sell it, and that's the pricing metrics that go in. That's how you run a business, that's how you run cash flow, that's just how it is. So from my perspective, the annual release will be in May, June, and then the rest of the year we'll see August, September for the 100 gram bars, and sort of a bit of October, November, and a bit of December for the 3 ounce and 5 ounce and 1 ounce rounds. Now, in addition to all of that, we always build in a little bit of scope to do a few other projects and a few other things for people, individual stuff. So if you are in the market for something nice and custom made that's lovely, I actually don't have any of my other molds just out in front of me, but I have a couple. I've got a sleeping cat mold, I've got a circular one, I've got hundreds of molds. We can do custom made stuff, hearts, stars, things like that. We do those, we've got a bit of scope for those if you want. Usually it's about a 3 to 4 week turnaround. If you want something, you can order it. That's basically where we are. Now, we're getting close to silver pouring temperature territory. Well, that's a difficult phrase to say, silver pouring temperature territory. So we're going to pour some silver. Now, for those that haven't seen this in action before, it's 1,000 plus degrees. We're in fact at 1,036 degrees at the moment. That's in Celsius, the British temperature, not Fahrenheit. It'd be over 2,000 in Fahrenheit. And you'll notice I've got a blowtorch on the mould, and we've got a 4-part mould here because we can pour more than one of these little loaf bars at a time. Now, it's not just as simple as putting 1 ounce of silver into the crucible and then 1 ounce of silver into the mould, because if we do that, we end up with a bunch of graphite on it. It doesn't look very pretty, it's just ugly, and I like to make pretty looking bars. That's what I have always done. So from my perspective, I want to make sure the bars are as good as they can. So I pour it by eye, and I just eyeball it. Wing it, so to speak. It's what my channel's always been about, really, isn't it? So I just wing it and try and hope that we get about an ounce. So not only are we going to hope that we do that, we're then going to weigh the items here and just see if we hit those weights. So let me just quickly grab my scales. And I have been asked a number of times, can you not just put scales underneath this here and pour into it? Well, you'll see it's a very, very quick process, this whole silver pouring game, and it ain't so easy. So let's see if we can get hopefully 1 or 2 bars, and this gives you an idea of the production value that we go into this, because there's a very good chance that I'm going to get maybe only 1 out of these 4 that ends up being the correct weight. In that case, the others just go back in the crucible. So for the 351 ounce bars that I make every year, 250 for the 4 and 100 for my own brand, we tend to probably pour close to 1,000, I'd say, overall. But I reject them. So only 1 in 3, maybe 1 in 4 actually get through the process of quality control for me. That's what I am proud about. It's a pain in the arse, but it's what I'm proud about. So here we go. We're going to pour some silver. Let's go. So as I said, it is 1,000 degrees. Got to be very careful. That's going to be an underweight one. I can feel it. You sort of get a knack for this. Oh, that might be underweight, might be okay with that little dribble that came in at the end. That's an overweight one, it came out a bit too fast. The last 2 are always a little bit more difficult because the silver's starting to solidify, and there we go. That one's a bad bar, not looking very good. There's the crucible for those who are interested. I'm not going to pop it back in the furnace because that is actually the last pour I'm doing out of the cycle of that furnace. You've got to be careful with these things because if you do too many, or have it in the heat too long, the crucibles can fail. But it really is red hot, as you can see. Keeps you nice and warm on a winter's day, that's for sure. So, have we hit the mark on any of these bars. Let me just pop this crucible out of the way so that we're not going to hurt ourselves. We've got maybe one or two that might be, but I think we're just under on some of these, which would be a little bit of a pain, quite frankly, but that is what it is. So let's put the mould out the way over there. Let's get the weighing scales out, and we need this to go on top of the old weighing scales. Zoom out a little bit, and then we can zero it. Doesn't want a zero. It's probably because it's on an uneven surface. There we go, and we pop that on there. Now this is just a cursory little one. We have a winner, 31.8, perfect amount of weight, and then we quench it. Love that sound. Okay, so that one's a good one. Next one, 32.1, we have 2. Oh my God, I'm on a 50% hit rate. This is great. This one's going to be way over though. 37.2 grams, that will go pop back in there. This one's probably underweight, yeah, a little bit under, but also it didn't really full the mold properly. So, fantastic. We have 2 bars that are pretty good. Right, let's get those out of the way before they melt. And here are the 2 bars that we made. So of course there is more work to be done on these bars. They do need to be stamped, and I'll be doing more of these production videos over the course of the year because I enjoy making them. It's been a long time since we've done one of these, and I think it's really important for you guys to see how things are done. So you'll have to wait and maybe subscribe. If you want a hook to subscribe to the channel, then that is, I think, the best hook to do. Now I'm just going to quickly quench these ones because I have been known sometimes to make silly decisions and go and pick up silver that looks like it's cool but isn't. So there we go. All right, well, I think that's been quite a successful little pouring day. This is not all from one day, but the last 2 days we've managed to pour however many is in my hand here. In fact, that is going to be the Cool Kids Club competition entry. Got to work out, so bear in mind I poured 2 bars today. There you go, I'll make it easy. I'll have it all individually laid out. You've got to count the bars, and that is your entry into the Cool Kids Club comment. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you are interested in any bits of poured silver, then let me know. Get in touch. If you are one of those lucky people who've got 10 of our 1-year annual products, then get in touch and we can mark you down as that special gift. So yeah, thank you all. We'll see you on the next video. As always, please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.